if I told you that there was a way that you can solve some of your problems yourself instead of hiring Coach Ron? Here's how it goes. There is something called a labyrinth available to you. You can go to Google and go Google Labyrinth near me. And whether you are in Australia, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in South America, whether you're in one of the great 50 states where I am, you will find a labyrinth within driving or commuting distance. Now, labyrinths have great significance, but we're going to keep it simple for people today. The idea is to reduce stress. The idea is to get some self-reflection, some insight. So, most of these labyrinths are in public places. They're in universities, they're on religious campuses, they're in parks, they're in gardens. If someone has a labyrinth, they're happy to share. A labyrinth shares a lot of the same qualities as mazes. If you ever walk through a corn maze or have seen them in pictures. Except labyrinths only have one path in and one path out, and you walk the path. And I'm going to give you a way to do some real work on yourself. Labyrinths are an opportunity to be one with nature, to be one with yourself. We do not give ourselves enough quiet time to figure out our problems. So that's why we talk to our friends, that's why we DM people, that's why we've got coaches, that's why we've got therapists. There's 100 different ways to do it, but a lot of times the answers are in ourselves. So I'm going to give you the way that I like to walk a labyrinth. I like to take a little breathing time just before I enter the labyrinth. And I like the nasal breathing, so in through the nose, hold it 5 seconds, out through the nose, and you're already centered. You've already reduced your blood pressure. And the labyrinth is going to give us the opportunity to have our subconscious and our conscious talk to each other creatively. So there's some intentionality and there's a little bit of woo-woo magic here. So if you aren't ready for woo-woo magic, it'll be a pleasant surprise for you. So you enter the labyrinth, and some of them are marked by sections, which you will see by, they've changed the way that the ground is. There'll be a line, there'll be a plant, something to mark that it's the end of a section, a big stone. But it's usually circular in nature. So when you get to that first plant, stone, line in the path, take a second and ask yourself, what would I like to release today? What would I like to let go? Is there something that I've been unkind to myself or others in the past week where I want to let that go? And you give yourself a couple minutes and you say to yourself, I'm going to let this activity, I'm going to let these thoughts go. And you walk to the next section. At the end of the next section, maybe there's something else you'd like to let go. Maybe, you want to improve something else about yourself, which will be a reduction. Eventually you get to the center of the labyrinth. And what you do at that point, this is called the heart of the labyrinth. So I want you to take a minute and listen and feel your own heart beat. And you can, again, do this through the nasal breathing. If you do 7 nasal breathing exercises that we practiced at the beginning for 1 minute, you will feel your stomach and your heart working in tandem with each other. You will be at center with yourself. Pretty cool space, right? We've spent 5 minutes alone with ourselves in nature. We're feeling pretty good. We start walking out. We go out one section. What do I want to pick up out of the labyrinth? Do I want to have more gratitude in my life? Consciously stop for 30 seconds and take in the gratitude for 3 things that have happened to you in the last week that you have not acknowledged. It can be something as simple as the sun came up yesterday and it was beautiful. I got all the laundry done. I'm proud of myself. I got that big task done at work. Whatever it is, there are things to be grateful in every course of every day. And if we do it intentionally in the labyrinth, maybe we will remember to do it tomorrow when we're under stress. We get to the next section. What do we want to pick up? I want to be kinder to homeless people. I picked up gifts, not just for my family and friends this holiday, but I picked up gifts for people who are outdoors and are cold. I do this every year. Last year I gave out clothing and gloves. I've done that for many years. This year I have rechargeable, but simple rechargeable hand warmers, where it's got an electrical electrical is a strong word. It's got a chemical reaction. So so it's good for 2 hours. It keeps people's hands or their pockets warm, which is helpful if you're outdoors a lot. But if you find yourself in a bathroom later today, you can put it in the sink, run hot water over it, and it recharges and it'll be warm for another 2 hours. And it's reusable forever and ever and ever. Cool thing. But I came to that several years ago. That's part of something I wanted to do when I had my own business. I wanted to be able to help people anonymously. I used to leave them outside my door, and pretty much word got around, and people got clothing, and people get food. I've done a number of things like that. So you work your way out of the labyrinth. And by the time you get to the outside, you have let go of some things that you did not want to carry with you any longer. And you have taken in some intentions of what you want to do going forward. So you've let your subconscious and your consciousness talk to each other. You've been quiet for a little while, which again, we don't do often enough. And you will find yourself a little bit of a changed person, and you will find yourself coming back to that labyrinth again and again and again until you evolve to the point where you are no longer beating yourself up. And then you will still come to the labyrinth, but you won't come as frequently. But you know it was there as a resource. You know that it will help you going forward. Life is good. So that's my story on the labyrinth. I hope everyone has a great day and a great holiday season. I'm Coach Ron.